Hi, hello, and good day to everyone out there. It's imashbuttons here, and we're back at it yet again with another JJK chapter review, this time for chapter 259, and boy is this one a doozy. Just a heads up, if my voice sounds a little shaky, it's because I think I'm getting sick, so bear with me if I start sounding like Gilbert Gottfried of all people. Let's not waste any time, and let's just jump right into this review, because this was without a doubt one of, if not the wildest chapter we've gotten since Gojo's death back in chapter 236. The first thing we got to talk about in this review is Chozo and his unfortunate demise. This death didn't really shock me at all, because at this point, if you're one of Yuji's upperclassmen or teachers, there's probably a good chance you're going to end up on a t-shirt. Now having said that, I do think that this was a good emotional point for the series, and Chozo had a good, respectable death. Ever since Shibuya ended, the bond between Yuji and himself strengthened considerably, to the point where you wouldn't think that they were just fighting to the death not even 100 chapters prior to that point. I really do applaud Gege for this death and how it was handled, and something tells me he learned from the mistakes he made regarding the death of Kugisaki. It's kind of impossible to overstate just how important of a character Chozo became to not only Yuji's journey, but to showing us all what finding your humanity is really like. What really got me is him mentioning Yuki again though. They were meant for one another, and they'll never get the happy ending together that they deserved. Moving on from my sorrow and woes, Sukuna continues to live up to the title of strongest sorcerer in history, as his strongest attack, the Mighty Furnace, erupts and incinerates everything surrounding Sukuna and Yuji, which of course included our poor dear Chozo. When we see the full scale of the damage, it's enormous, clearly much bigger and more potent than when it was previously used against Mahoraga. Definitely want to shout out the art for Sukuna in this chapter, because both panels where it's only him look outstanding, especially when he's emerging from the smoke to face Yuji. With such powerful techniques used in quick succession, Sukuna isn't operating at full capacity, and naturally can't use his curse technique at the moment, which hopefully gives our allies an opening to finally put him down. Speaking of allies, the last thing I want to talk about in this chapter is the bombshell of Aoi Todo returning to the series once more, even after seemingly losing access to his curse technique, Boogie Woogie. This is without a doubt the highlight of the chapter, and knowing that he has some sort of replacement for his hand that allows him to use his technique again, lets me know that we're in for one hell of a fight between these two and Sukuna. On top of that, Gege gave him a much needed off-screen Zenkai boost, so to speak, by having him train with Yuta in preparation for this final standoff. I know there's a lot of people out there in the fandom who don't like the Sukuna cycle, as they call it, and I understand why, as I've said previously, but I can't help but get hype when I see a returning character, and Todo is like the returning character if Shibuya told us anything. I loved it when he intervened in Shibuya against Mahito, and I loved it when he showed up in this chapter. He's 2 for 2 on cool entrances. I do have to wonder what has taken the place of Todo's hand though. I've seen some people online speculate that it's Garuda, Yuki's old Shikigami, but I don't know how plausible it is given it was directly tied to her curse technique, so we'll have to wait and see what he has in store for us. Maybe it's the Infinity Gauntlet, who knows. Wrapping this up with my thoughts on the chapter, I think it was a stellar week for the series, and with there not being a break next week thankfully, the hype train continues to cruise on at max speed. I'll be honest, I think Todo is going to show us his domain expansion during this fight. There's no way in hell Gege brings our boy back to be in the spotlight again without giving him a crazy amp to compete with the new heavy hitters of the series. As for what's replacing his hand, it'll probably just be some cursed object that we didn't know about until now, or something of that nature, which would be completely fine with me. I'm just happy to see Todo back anyways. Funny story though, and a little spoiler for an upcoming video I have, but I'm in the process of making a top 5 wasted JJKs video, and I put Todo on the list because it felt like he was taken out of the series too quickly and got replaced by Hikari. But it looks like I might have to go back and change my viewpoint on that if the next few chapters have our boy putting in some serious work, which I think he most definitely will. And with that, my review of JJK chapter 259 is finished. What did you guys think of the chapter? Do you guys think the fight with Sukuna is almost over? Do you think Todo will actually make a difference in the fight itself? Let me know down below in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well. We're on the way to 1K subs, and every bit of support helps me get closer to that goal. I still have plenty of non-chapter review videos coming. I'm just balancing doing this while also working full-time and playing card games competitively, so it's been hard for me to deviate my time as wisely as I'd otherwise like to. But until next time everybody, be on the lookout for the next video from me, and make sure to be kind to one another while I'm away. Peace!